All right, today we are going to be talking about why I love ClickUp so much. If you haven't heard me talk about ClickUp before, it's the task and project management system that we use for the agency, and I've used this in my business for the last 2 years or so. Before that, I was using Asana. You might have heard of Asana. There's also Trello, Monday. There's a bunch of different task and project management systems out there. And if you're not currently using one, I really encourage you to just start, because it really doesn't matter which one that you choose. You're going to see the biggest benefits by just starting to use these task management systems really, really religiously and getting off of that paper planner and those paper to-do lists. This is so key if you are starting your business or looking to grow your business, or you're starting to bring on or getting ready to bring on team members. The paper is not going to work anymore. And that doesn't mean you can never use paper lists or anything like that again, but having all of your tasks in one central location that you can always get to no matter where you are, computer or phone, a lot of them have apps, right? And no matter where any of your future team members are, or even your clients, having that task management system is such a game changer. So if you're not already using one, press pause on this and just sign up for one. That is seriously how impactful and how helpful it's going to be for your business. Now, like I said, I was using Asana before, but I switched to ClickUp about 2 years ago because it just had some added functionality that I was really looking for that Asana didn't have. Now, Asana might have some of these things now, some of this functionality now. I'm not sure, but when you're thinking about, oh, should I start using a task management system? What do I want that task management system to do for me? There's a couple of basic functionalities that you really need to make sure that it has. Again, most of them have these, right? But you can take a look if you're kind of between a few. So the first main difference between a lot of task and project management systems is going to be actually just how they're visually set up. So Trello has a Kanban style, which basically means the tasks and the statuses are set up into multiple different columns. So you might have a column all the way on the left-hand side of the screen that are, those are your to-dos. And you would drag and drop that task from that column that's all the way on the left side over into the next column for maybe in progress, right? And then you might drag and drop it when it needs approval. And you might drag and drop it when it needs to be scheduled. And you might drag and drop it when it's, been executed or it's been completed. That's the Kanban style. So if you're a really visual person, a lot of creatives really like that style. Trello is really going to be the way that you want to go, but ClickUp also has Kanban layouts that are available that you can set up. And if you're a little bit more hierarchical thinking, if you like your lists, right, and you like to bullet, that's going to be more Asana type view where you have lists and things are, nested within each other, tasks are nested within each other, and it feels more like a bullet or a numbered list. Asana has that functionality, but guess what? ClickUp does too. And that's one reason why I really like ClickUp is they have created the ability to make a layout view that really works for you depending on what you prefer. So they have Kanban style boards. They have these more list type boards. They also have Gantt view for any of my project managers out there. They have a lot of different functionality around the type of views that you want. So that is one reason that I really love ClickUp, because sometimes just looking at things in a different way can be so helpful to, help you to see it from a different angle, right? They also have these great dashboards that can kind of give you some information, really quickly at a glance. So it could say, you might have, these are the total number of open tasks that you have, or this is on average how overdue most of your tasks are by a certain amount of time. Here's, how many open tasks each member of your team has. things like that in those workspace view dashboards. So that can be really helpful too, to give you a bit of a bird's eye view, especially if you're using ClickUp or your task management system for client work, but also for your team, right? And so that is really, really great. Another thing that I love about ClickUp that I don't know if Asana or Trello or any of the other ones have this functionality, but ClickUp has amazing recurring task functionality. So not only can I set a task for something that needs to happen every day, every week, or every month, right? But I can also say, I want this task to recur the second Thursday of every month, or I want this task to happen on the 10th and the 20th of every month, or on the 12th of every other month, right? Or yearly, or I want this task to recur 5 days after the last time that I marked it as closed. And so that really powerful recurring task functionality is so great, because as you start to scale, you have to systematize things, and you have to really figure out, what are the tasks that I am doing consistently? What are the tasks that I'm even doing, a few times here and there, just periodically, but more than once? Those are the tasks that you want to identify. How much time am I spending on those tasks, and how can I automate or outsource those tasks, right? And if you're going to outsource those tasks, you have to set up a system, a standard operating procedure around those tasks. So getting a really clear view and setting up those tasks to recur, you're gonna be able to start thinking about and figuring out, how often am I really doing this task? And you're gonna save so much time in the long run, because that task is gonna automatically come up at whatever different timeline that you set for it. So you're saving time re-entering that task and reassigning it either to yourself or to a member of your team or to a client, right? And you're really saving time even needing to remember to do that thing. And that's really where task management systems can really start to work for you. I don't have to keep those things in my brain, right? Because I know as soon as that email comes in, that Slack message comes in, whatever, it is getting put into ClickUp, and that task is getting assigned either to me or to a member of my team. If a member of my team needs something to me, they put that task in ClickUp and assign it to me and give it a due date and give me all the information that I need within that task. And it starts to really tighten up your entire communication process and your task tracking process. And what this does is I'm super confident that nothing is falling through the cracks, because I know if it's something I need to do, if it's something my team needs to do, it is in ClickUp. So I don't wake up in the morning and immediately say, oh, okay, I need to do this and this and this and this and this. And I also don't spend time in the evening when I'm going to bed thinking through, oh, okay, I have to remember to do that thing tomorrow, that thing tomorrow, that thing tomorrow, right? Because I know, I'm confident that all of those things are in ClickUp. So I don't have to think about those things until I'm sitting down in the morning and reviewing my day and looking at priorities and what I need to do. And that is something that is so impactful for people who are really looking to build a business that makes them feel super supported and isn't stressing them out all the time, right? Like, we are not starting businesses to feel like it's another job. That's not what we want out of our businesses. That's not long-term gonna make you feel good about your business. That's how you get to burnout, right? Or that's how you have a successful business, but you feel like you wanna burn it to the ground because it doesn't feel good. And that is something that really is a game changer. And as you start to scale, then that any task that your team members need to do, it's in there, right? It's in ClickUp, so you know that there's no miscommunication. There's no, oh, I thought she was gonna do that. Oh, I thought he was gonna do that. And then things don't get done, and then you have clients who are, pissed at you, or you are getting mad at your team members because you thought they were doing something and, you realized, oh, I didn't really communicate what I was expecting to them, or I didn't communicate a priority around it to them, or a due date or anything like that. So within each of your specific tasks in ClickUp, you're assigning it to someone, right? You're giving it a due date. You can set a priority. You also can move it through different statuses. So in ClickUp, we have different statuses depending on what area of ClickUp that task lives in. So if it's client work, it might be, okay, great, this is an open task, right? That's assigned to someone. And then if a member of my team is working on it, the person who is assigned to that task, they'll mark it as in progress, right? When it's ready for me to look at it, they'll mark it at that task, they'll update the status to needs approval, right? And the link for me to review it is right in there. So I don't have to go anywhere else. I just click on that link and it shows me exactly what I need, right? If I have edits, great, I can communicate that within the task via comments in the task, and I can kick that status back into in progress. Or if it looks good, I can move that task and set it to approved, right? And then they would move that task to scheduled or completed or whatever, right? So we don't need messages going back and forth saying, what's the status on this? What's happening with this? Are you good with this? Are we done with this? Is this approved? All of that is being communicated immediately via the task status and the task priority, right? And you can cut down on so much communication time, so much back and forth through really effectively and intentionally and purposefully using a task management system. They all have a lot of this functionality, right? ClickUp just happens to have the most functionality that I find the most useful, but they all have something or some type of this functionality. And so the biggest thing, again, is just start using it, and you're already gonna start to see those benefits and that time saving. Another feature that I really love about ClickUp is dependencies, right? So I can actually indicate in ClickUp, here's this task, here's another task, but guess what? Task B cannot begin until task A is completed. Or task B cannot be completed until it can be started, but it can't be completed until task A is completed, right? Or we're waiting on something from task A, and I can actually indicate what we're waiting on from that thing. So if you have multiple team members working on multiple different, pieces of a puzzle of a task or a project, this is, again, a really easy way for everybody to know exactly where that task or that project is at, right? So if you have somebody on your team who's waiting to start their piece of the project until, the graphics are done, say, right? You can see right there, okay, what's the holdup? What's the problem here? Everybody can see that status, and everybody can, follow up when needed, get clarification when needed, all of those things. This also becomes super helpful if you are thinking you're becoming a bottleneck in your own business. These task statuses, these due dates, and these dependencies will make it abundantly clear when you start to become a bottleneck in your own business. And it'll be a really easy way to think about, okay, how do I let go of this? Or how do I assign this piece to somebody else? Because I'm obviously dropping the ball and my team isn't able to, move forward at the pace that they are prepared to move forward at because of me, right? It's like I'm slowing us down. So how do I fix that? It's also great if you're using ClickUp with clients. It's a really easy way for them to see, okay, great, I need to get XYZ to them before they can. So I need to get images to them before they can create the ads, right? That's something that we use with our ad management clients. They have to get their logo to us, their branding to us, their images to us, the relevant links and credentials to us. They have to get those things to us before we can really get started building out their ads and, really getting their campaigns running, right? So we can all see, okay, we're really waiting on that. So what do we know we need to do? Great, we need to follow up with them. We need to remind them, right? And it's clear as day for anybody that goes in there, whether the client's in ClickUp or not, the team members, myself, we can all see what's the holdup. What are we waiting on here? And with your task statuses as well, you can create custom task statuses. So if you need I need to review it and then it gets kicked to the client to review and approve, and then we're waiting on client approval, you can add those separate task statuses into those tasks. So that, again, it's super clear to everybody on the team, or even if it's just you. And I started using ClickUp when I was still a solopreneur, and it's still such a game changer, because once I started building my team, it was so, easy to fold them in, right, to all of my standard operating procedure SOPs, to all of my systems, to my task tracking and my task management. That was all prepared right there. It all lived online already versus just in my head or in a notebook, or, one of 7 notebooks that I had, that I know so many of you just write things down all the time everywhere. But that's going to really slow you down as you start to scale, right? And so those are just like a few ways that I use ClickUp to really run my business as efficiently and effectively as possible. Again, whether you have clients or not that would be using a task management system with you, whether you have team members or not, right, or contractors or not, or if you're just a solopreneur, getting on a task management system is going to be such a game changer for your business, as long as you really use it religiously. Whenever something comes in, it's going into ClickUp. It can live in ClickUp, right? If you start to do that, you're gonna start to see really great results in terms of your organization, right? In terms of making sure things don't fall through the cracks. And that is, if you have one takeaway from this episode, that's the most important thing. So whether it's ClickUp or whether it's another task management system, just start. And so many of them have free plans, right? I didn't start paying for a task management system until this past year, right? It hasn't even been a year since I've been actually paying for a task management system. And that's because I'm basically like a super user at this point, right? So I wanted some of that added functionality. But I've been using task management systems for probably almost 5 years now, maybe over 5 years. And I never paid for them up until this past year. So just get started. And if you have any questions around, I'm thinking about ClickUp or I'm not sure, definitely let me know. Reach out to me on Instagram. I'm sam.dinicola. That's sam.dinicola, and I'd be happy to kind of walk you through some of the functionality decisions that made me go with ClickUp and that I really love about ClickUp. And if you're ready to start really using ClickUp for your business and you want to know, how do I set it up? How do I get it set up to use with clients? How do I get it set up to use with team members? Any of those things. I have a course, ClickUp for Entrepreneurs. It's on my website, samdinicoladigital.com, and it will set you up. It will walk you through exactly how to set up ClickUp for your business, how you can use it, permissions, adding team members, all of that good stuff, how to organize it, systematize it, set recurring due dates, all of that good stuff. So if you're really ready to jump in and start using task management systems to really run your business better this year, check out ClickUp for Entrepreneurs. I highly, highly recommend it. And I'll catch you next time.